Hey you guys, how's it going? Thank you so much for watching. So today I have the 2017 Alfa Romeo Giulia TI. This does have the sport package, so this is actually the most loaded up Giulia you can get without jumping up to the QV, which is a quadrifoglio. So now I do want to give a huge thanks to Ewing Auto Group over in Fort Worth, Texas, Ewing Fiat Alfa Romeo, for letting me borrow this car. Super huge props to them. They're definitely a phenomenal dealership, and if you guys are interested in an Alfa Romeo Giulia or even a 4C, be sure to check them out. They are phenomenal, great staff. They'll definitely take care of you guys. But to get started, guys, this is going to be the Volcano Black Metallic. It is a gorgeous coat of paint, so if I get a little bit closer to this, I'll give you guys a good look at that paint color. Gorgeous paint color. And then right here at the bottom, guys, you're gonna have your 19-inch aluminum wheels with the red Alfa Romeo branded brake calipers up there. And up here at the front, you do have that traditional Alfa Romeo look. You've also got this V-shaped chrome bar going right down the middle, right there. Definitely a gorgeous looking car. Alright you guys, so to get started, there are a few ways to get into the car. You can obviously unlock it with a key. It does also have remote start. So you can start the vehicle that way. And then all you have to do is walk up to the door. Now when you come up to the door, it still will remain locked. Now there's a touchpad right behind here. So once I put my hand behind there, that'll unlock the door, and there's a button here that'll lock the door. Alright, so this is just going to be the black interior. With the black leather seats. Alright, we'll come right back over here to the door, guys. So right over here on the door, you're gonna have some very cool details here. So right here at the top, you've got this nice leather padding, which is gonna go all across here. You've got this contrast stitching coming right across here, so it's a real soft grain leather. When you come around here, you have these wood accents, which look really good. Sorry, let me zoom out right there. These look really good. So you have that right there, as you can see. You do have the Harman Kardon sound system in here, so you've got your speaker there. All of your window controls, door locks, everything like that. You have your storage pockets right down here. And you've got another speaker here with a nice chrome bezel coming right across here. You do have these cool Alfa Romeo branded kick plates, which are super high quality looking. They look really cool. I love the cursive signature on there too. You're also gonna have aluminum brake pedals right down here. Now coming over to the seat, you do have, of course, memory driver's seat. So right here, you're gonna have 3 positions. You have your forward, back, up and down, and then you have your lumbar support right down there at the bottom, and then these 2 switches right here, which you can barely see them. That's actually going to adjust the side bolsters. So you can make it as comfortable as a luxury car, or you can make the seats as supportive as Recaros. Like, they get that tight. And speaking of the seats, you got some real good quality leather coming right here. Sorry about all this light, you guys. You have the nice stitching right here. Perforations coming right here. And then right up top, you're gonna have your Alfa Romeo signature embossed right there. And you also do have a thigh extension right down here. So you'll pull that, and that'll extend the thigh support right there. You can just click that right back in. Let's go ahead and hop in, you guys. All right, go ahead and shut the door. Really solid thunk when you shut the door, so it sounds really good. All right. Let me give you guys a good look at the interior. So I did start the vehicle from the outside, so the vehicle will not move unless you actually put your foot on the brake right down here, and then you're gonna push the start button, which is gonna be right here. So once I push that, oh, sorry about that. That'll kind of activate the car that way. Now I'm able to put it into drive and things like that. But if I were to turn it off, go ahead and start it back up. Very quick startup. You got the nice gauge sweep, of course. So first thing I want to start off with the steering wheel. Really soft grain leather. I mean, the leather on here is incredible. Just the grain, like when you feel it immediately, it's got this really soft texture to it. You've got this kind of fabric coming right here with this cool stitching on it. And you've got that same fabric coming right down here, again with the real soft touch leather. You do have this chrome bezel that's going to come all through here, kind of make this cool V shape. Of course, your Alfa Romeo signature right in the middle. Same thing going across. You're going to have all of your cruise control settings, all of your connection Bluetooth settings, so I'll go over it in just a second. But let's start over here to the left, guys. So right over here, you are going to have all of your parking sensor switches. So if you turn that off, it'll turn off your parking sensors. This does come with automatic start-stop. So if you're at a stop sign, it'll turn the engine off, and then once you let your foot off the brake, it'll quickly turn it back on to save gas, things like that. And you can actually hit that button to turn that off. You do have automatic headlights, of course, fog lamps. You just push that button right there. That'll turn your fog lamps. You've got these really cool fans right here, or really cool vents right here, and you just turn that to the right to turn it off, and then turn it to the left to turn it back on. Alright, so back to these controls right here, guys. So of course you do have cruise control. You have radar cruise control in this vehicle, actually. So if I hit this cruise control button, that'll turn your cruise control, and if I hit this little button right here, that'll actually adjust the car lengths from you and the car in front of you. That way you can keep that set car length. And of course, right up here, it'll show you what speed you have it set to. And then this screen, you can actually toggle through it by clicking this button right here on the end of your right stalk. And when you click that, that'll toggle through your miles per hour. You got things like, sorry, let me get a little bit closer here. You've got things like your average miles per hour, average miles per gallon, current miles in the car, things like that. Switch through it again. You have a G meter, which comes up right here. And if you hit it one more time, it comes back to your speedometer, which I love the digital speedometer, so that's really cool. Over here to the left, you are going to have your oil temperature, your tach, your speedometer, and then you have your fuel, which is all digital right here as well. Coming over here to the right, guys, you are going to have your voice commands, phone commands, and then of course your left, right, everything like that, which does come up. Your volume controls, if I turn this up.
Something. I don't like it. You know why I don't like it? I saw it and thought of it.
And you also do have voice commands, so if I hit this voice command button, tune to 106.1.
Tuning to 106.1 FM.
So you do have that on there, which is pretty cool. It works really quickly. I don't really have to speak up or yell or anything like that. Another cool thing this car has is column mounted paddle shifters right here, which are full aluminum paddle shifters. They feel really good. This is going to be an 8-speed automatic. Specifically, this is a ZF sourced 8-speed automatic. So this is the same 8-speed automatic you get in cars like the Jaguar F-Type, the Dodge Hellcat. Everyone who uses the ZF 8-speed automatic, it's a very responsive transmission. I will be doing a drive video as well, so you guys can check that out, but the transmission shifts extremely quickly. And the one thing this does have on a dual clutch is a dual clutch can't get nearly as smooth as this transmission does, especially when you're not driving at 10/10, when you just kind of want to cruise around. Not a lot of clunks, things like that. You do have your windshield wipers back here, so up and then pull back to do the misting. Of course, you do have automatic headlamps. You do have lane keep lane keep assist, and if you can see right here, there's that lane keep assist, and if you tap that button right there, that'll actually turn that off. So once you get out of your lane, it'll beep to let you know that you've gotten out of your lane. It won't pull you back into your lane or anything like that, but it will beep for you. And if you pull this forward, you are gonna have automatic high beams. So if you look right there, it says auto. So what that means is at night, it'll turn your high beams on. Once it detects a car or any kind of lights, it'll turn the high beams off and then turn them back on when it deems appropriate. Coming over here to the center screen, this isn't a touch screen, so if I reach up here and try to touch anything, it's not gonna do anything. So you can only control it using this center control arm right here, which is really cool. And now the cool part about that, you're not gonna get fingerprints all over it. You're not gonna get any kind of, you know, it's not distracting at all. It's really, really easy to work. And you've got your vents right here, your fan controls. So if I turn this right here, you've got all your fan speeds and everything like that. Coming down here, you are gonna have things like heated seats, heated steering wheel, of course heated seats for both sides. You do have dual zone climate control, so if I turn any one of these gauges, it is gonna switch right there, which is nice. You have a USB port back here. If you lift that back, you're gonna have some cup holders right down here. And coming right down here, you do have more of that really cool grain looking wood. It's a good look at it. You're gonna have your shifter, so very easy. There's a trigger right here in the back. You push that, push into reverse. Once you do that, your backup camera will come up, which has parking sensors. It also has rear cross traffic alert and guidance lines. So if I turn the steering wheel, the lines will turn with the steering wheel. And then once you put it back in drive, one down for neutral, all the way back for drive, the parking sensors, or the screen will go away. You can also flick right here to the left for manual mode, and at which point you're fully reliant on the paddle shifters back here, or you can use this, push forward, downshift, pull back to upshift, and then slap it over, hit this P on top, and that puts it in park. Coming right down here, guys, you do have your drive mode selector. So Alfa Romeo calls it DNA. The D is going to stand for dynamic, N is going to stand for natural mode, and then A is going to stand for advanced efficiency. Now this specific model does have the upgraded option of the damper control settings. So you can hit this button in the middle to adjust the dampers from soft to a more performance setting. So the coolest part about that is right here on the screen. If you switch into, let's say, advanced efficiency mode, it shows it right up there, which is pretty cool. So advanced efficiency mode is going to actually put it down to 2 cylinders. So you are going to have cylinder deactivation. It's going to run in the highest gear, use the lowest amount of fuel to get the best fuel economy. Speaking of fuel economy, you get 24 in the city and you get about 33 miles per gallon on the highway, which is actually extremely good for this car. If you switch up into natural, that's going to be kind of your everyday driving mode. If you want something a little bit more sporty, which is what the Alfa Romeo is aimed to be. And then once you switch up into dynamic, everything turns red, and you've got that cool feature to it. And so once you're in dynamic mode, the shifts are a lot more immediate. The throttle response is a lot more immediate. The exhaust is a little bit louder. The dampers go into their stiffest setting. It's just a really, really cool response. The steering wheel gets a little bit tighter. The steering response is a lot quicker. So it definitely goes into an extreme sport mode. It's a big difference. Now you do have your volume over here. And if you tap it once, that'll mute it. And if you hold that down, that'll actually turn off the screen up here. And now this dial is actually going to control everything on the screen. So if you hit the menu button, that'll take you right to your home screen. Oh, sorry. Right to your home screen right there. And so now to work it, you just twist it right to go down. You're going to twist it left to go up. Now if you click to the right, so you're going to toggle it to the right, and that'll actually go to all of your radio settings. So you do have like your AM, FM, Sirius radio, Bluetooth, auxiliary, everything like that, which everything in here I will get to in just a second. So I'm going to continue right back here. You do have your electronic parking brake, which is on right now. So if I put my hand over here, you can see that little light. So it is on, and it is an automatic parking brake. So as soon as you put it into park, it automatically turns on your parking brake for you. And if I lift up this center armrest right here, you're going to have your storage space right in there. You've got a little cubby right here. You've got storage space in here. You've got an auxiliary, and then a USB, and then a 12 volt right down here. which you can use as well. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and go back into this, you guys. You do have different media settings too, so once your phone is connected, you can do all of your Bluetooth things, everything like that. Phone settings once again. So all your phone commands will come up through there, so you can call people, you can dial out from this screen. Your navigation will come up right here. You can scroll through there, points of interest, different kinds of zoom, recent destinations. You can set this, so if you click that down to set your destination, and let's say if you clicked on your street, right, then it will go through, show you all these letters, and you just go through and click and kind of enter in your street name and everything like that. So if I hit the menu button, it'll take me right back to the main menu. Then you have things like apps, which is really cool. So if I click on my car, that'll show you things like your tire pressure, what your current tire pressure is, and if you bump it over to the right, you can actually put in your maintenance stuff right in there. And you can also put in your oil levels. You can actually see your real-time oil level, which is really cool. Efficient drive, so you can actually see a real-time feed of how efficiently you're driving. And then a user's manual, which basically what it is, it's a user's manual. So it pulls up everything from the user's manual. So if you want to take an hour or so to look at that, you're more than welcome to. Now, if you guys notice this at the very bottom, those are actually your presets. So if I bump this down towards me, your presets are going to come up, and all you got to do is go down, oops, and then click on one, and then that'll take you to 106.1. So you do have that, which is pretty cool. And then once you go into your settings, you can adjust everything in here. So everything to do with the car, so like your lights. This does have adaptive headlights, so at night when you're driving, the headlights will pivot left and right to help you see a lot better at night. You do have ambient lighting in here. You can adjust if you want your lights to flash when you lock it, if you want your daytime running lights on, if you want your greeting lights on, the automatic high beams if you want that on or off. Units, so things like, you know, kilometers, English, Spanish, your clock, so basic clock settings along with date settings. It is GPS sync, so for the most part it is always right. Safety settings, so here's where you can adjust things like your forward collision warning, which this does have. So it actually has a camera right up here behind the mirror. So right back here you have a camera, and what that camera does is it scans the road in front of you. And so if there's a collision in front of you, it's actually going to hit on the brakes. It'll warn you 2 times first. It'll give you a visual warning, then an audio warning, and then if you don't hit the brakes, it'll slam on the brakes for you. Your lane departure, you do have blind spot monitoring. So if I come over here to the left, there's actually a little triangle right there, and it'll light up in both mirrors if there's people in your blind spots. And then if you blink to left or right while there's someone there, it will emit an audio alert to let you know not to get over. You can set a speed limiter, so if you're like me and you drive a little fast, you can set it to where it'll always remind you like, hey, you're going way over the speed limit. Driver assistance features, so you do have, of course, your backup camera, your automatic parking brake, you can turn that on or off. You can set up your brake servicing, your parking sensors, you can adjust the sensitivity on those. You can adjust when your door locks. You can adjust if all 4 doors unlock when you use the touchpad, or if only the driver side and passenger side unlocks. If you want the horn to sound, you can really get super in-depth with this car, which is really, really cool. You can adjust the gauge cluster, so you can adjust everything on this cluster right back over here, right in this screen. Your infotainment, so you can turn the screen off. So if I click that, you just want to focus on driving. You still have all the information you would need in this screen right here, and you can just focus on driving without having this glaring in your face at night, and you just tap a button to turn it back on. Split screen, which I think is really cool. So right now it's actually on split screen. So if I hit that and turn the split screen off, it gets rid of the radio, and then you have everything right there. But the split screen is pretty cool. You can also do it with audio, your navigation, so you can see your navigation at the same time while you're messing with other stuff. Or you can do split screen, which the one I like is audio. So you do have that right there, which is pretty cool. Sorry guys, my phone is going up. You have your audio settings right here, so you can adjust the Harman Kardon audio. It does have a surround sound feature on here, so you can adjust that. Your Bluetooth settings, radio settings, and then more media settings and phone settings, everything like that. Then of course, once you get down to system settings, you can adjust all these things like your personal data, software updates, map updates, kind of more in-depth things regarding the actual electronics of the vehicle. But yeah, that's pretty much it for everything up here in the front, you guys. Let me go up here. You do have auto dimming mirror. You do have this really neat gloss black setup here that's going to include all of your lights. So you do have full LED lights in here, which is pretty neat. And then you are going to have your trunk releases. You do have your sunscreen release right up here. So if you hit that, the sunscreen will go back. It's pretty cool. And then of course your actual moonroof right here. So you do have that, which is super, super neat. And of course you have the close right here. And you have the tilt feature, which is this button right here. And your sunscreen close. And now in the very back, you do also have another sunscreen, but it's not automatic. It does have a little handle there. You're gonna pull that handle back, and that'll open it. It doesn't open or anything like that. It's just kind of like a moonroof kind of thing, so that way you can see at night. Of course, you do have your home link up here. Vanity mirrors with your light. And guys, let's go ahead and hop in the back. That way you can see how the back room space is. So I'm gonna go ahead and scoot myself up to my position that I would be sitting at. Go ahead and look at that. And we'll go ahead and hop in the back. Alright. Okay. So the back seat is going to follow the same style as the front. Hop back here. So once again, I am 6 feet tall, exactly. And I scooted up to my optimal position. I've got a pretty good amount of room back here. You do have a map holder right back here as well. You have 2 vents back here, and you have a USB port right back here as well. Another map holder, and then of course, little pockets on the side of the door that you can use. You do have anchors right down here, so if you have car seats, you can latch those right into there. You are going to have your cup holders right here, which are actually pretty deep cup holders. A lot of rear cup holders tend to be real shallow, and these are pretty deep. So that's a really cool feature right there. Once again, if you look up here, you do have that moonroof that I mentioned earlier. And then you do have more LED lighting back here. Pretty simple back seat area. We'll go ahead and hop out, and I'll open up the trunk, and I'll pop the hood for you guys as well. There we go. So coming on back here, guys, we've got all this camera equipment back here, but you do have a good amount of room back here, that's for sure. And you do have latches up here that you can use to fold down the seats. Another latch right over here that you can use to fold down the seats. And you have a subwoofer right back here as well. This doesn't have a spare tire, you just have a fix-a-flat kit. So for those of you who are wanting a spare tire, unfortunately you will be out of luck with this one. Let's go ahead and take a look under the hood, you guys. And while we're back here, let's just get a good look at this car. This thing is beautiful looking. Alright, so this is going to be Alfa Romeo's 2-liter turbocharged all aluminum 4-cylinder. This makes 280 horsepower and 306 pound-feet of torque. It is a very, very impressive motor, and as you guys can see, I'll do my drive video, which you guys should definitely watch. So stay tuned to the end of this video, and I'll actually put a link up to my drive video. But this is very, very good for what it is. This specific version is going to be the rear-wheel drive version, so you got a lot less weight than the all-wheel drive. But the way it puts down power is very impressive. It definitely feels like a little bit more than 280 horsepower, that's for sure. This thing will do 0 to 60 in right about 5.1 seconds, which I can definitely believe. If you come right up here to the top, you can actually see those cameras right up here. So those are cameras that'll are in charge of your lane keep assist, your forward collision warning, your rain sensing wiper is going to be right there. Just a very, very cool car. Awesome, and definitely want to give another shout out to Ewing Auto Group over here in Fort Worth, Texas. Ewing Fiat Alfa Romeo. I do want to thank them for letting me use this car and film this car. If you guys have any questions, or if you want to visit their inventory, I've got all that in the description box below. And if you guys want to see any more of my videos, be sure to click up here to the right. And if you guys want to subscribe to my channel, please click up here to the left. Thank you guys so much.